actually shot and killed a lot of people. Yeah, in the downtown center of Oslo. Yeah, 2021. I think maybe 2022. To be honest, yeah, I think it's 2022. But that's not my point. Only Benjamin, I want to say something and hear your response.
Bad people. Do you think there are bad people in the world?
Yeah, definitely. So,
okay, do you think bad people are afraid of Norway, or more afraid of Norway or Israel?
Wow, actually now I forgot what I was going to ask you. What did you say earlier?
Do you think bad people are more afraid of Norway or Israel?
I'm trying to remember what you said earlier that I had a question about.
What y'all are talking about. It's pretty good, but
yeah, I agree. That's the thing, bro, is that I'm trying to stop Benjamin to either myself make a point that he can engage with, or he, as he do, make a statement, and I want to stop him, and I want to engage with that statement, but Benjamin is not allowing anyone to engage with him back and forth.
well, to be fair, Anders, you've been talking for like an hour, so he's probably trying to walk you down a little bit or something. But not that Benjamin hasn't been talking for an hour.
Down what?
Oh,
Never.
I'm not exactly sure. My eyeballs are hurting looking at the screen of you guys talking so long. But
why are you watching the screen?
Yeah, I mean,
I pay a lot of attention to your facial flares. And
I remember now.
My facial flares, like you can see my face.
Yeah.
As I'm speaking.
You and Noon, both with your hands on your face, and looking at
see,
Elliot.
Look, none went away. None went away because she doesn't think that's right.
I'm focused. Benjamin's got his bunny there. T's got his bunny cat.
Elliot is dabbing.
I said that already.
Okay. Just making sure. I don't want you to miss Elliot dabbing.
Yeah,
well, maybe more so Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
It's
dabbing.
Real American.
Oh, is that a weed thing? No, you've not heard that. You've not heard that? Oh my gosh, actually, he doesn't know what it is.
It's okay. Elliot is okay.
He has to.
He's still on the good side.
He's making the drug reference subject. And I don't know.
Hi, Jay. Hey, T.
Oh.
T is here.
She's chilling like a Belgaville. I was working on homework here while listening to you guys, staring at you all intently.
You're weird.
Victoria's late to the party. Victoria, attendance was taken like 2 hours ago. You weren't here, but you can do makeup.
We can do makeup into space?
Makeup work. Otter.
No. Stop it, Professor. Stop it.
Barb has been here listening to this chit chat of Anders and Benjamin, but it was productive. Learned about Norwegian culture a little bit.
Professor, I really thought that you were going to allow us to do makeup.
Simon's affection for the king.
God save the king.
He was the king as they died. Keeping him elevated. So retarded.
Hello. Yeah, I was hoping we could do some makeup too.
Oh yeah.
Like a little halo eye or something.
Let's do it.
If you had to do makeup for me, what would you do? Because I seem to be lacking a little color in my photo. What could you do to help me out? I probably need more than color on the picture. I'm sure.
You're
looking a little pale. I feel like you've lost a little rust there.
The thing that I would do for most men is I would prep first, make sure the skin is healthy, make sure it's moisturized, and add a little bit of sheen. I think a lot of men have dull skin because they don't exfoliate as much as they should, and they
sounds
could
like
look much more youthful if they just did that. So I
You have
would
a
start
tip?
there.
The
Okay,
tip
so
is hyaluronic acid. That's the tip. And Pro knows this.
I do know this.
I actually think I had a set, like it was like 10 different things, and the one you mentioned, I think, was one of them. And is it like
You don't need 10
is
different
it
things.
like no? That was just a false. What do you call it? Like a series of like products. I was given this for free from a friend of mine. But one of them was actually like blood, like red blood
Wow.
cells.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Have you heard about some of those stories here in the U.S.? Some obsessed
Wait.
parents.
Otter said, in honor of doing makeup, I will change BRB. Otter, you're an otter. What are we doing? Why do we have a squirrel eating what otter? Oh my.
So, otter's back.
That's a little. That's very carnivore.
Otters are carnivores. Well, they're omnivores.
Well, the squirrel is a carnivore in the picture. Contrast that with Benjamin's.
I'm not sure that's what's happening there. That could be a trick picture.
I mean,
Yeah,
I thought rabbits were cute until I saw my own rabbit as a kid eat a rodent. So, I mean, yeah.
I mean, they are rodents.
Nature is not.
Is a rabbit a rodent? Does that qualify?
Yeah, kind of, actually. I don't think like taxidermically, but
I'm not interested in all the details. I just want to know if I can call it a rodent and get away with it.
No.
does end up. I know you pro lyric, I think, and Elliot as well, but does anyone here on stage like believe?
I'm going to speak for a while here. Everybody here maybe believes in God.
Like maybes?
Or everybody here doesn't, or everybody doesn't. It's one of those. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I used to have a profile picture that said everything in the universe is either a duck or not a duck, and that is true.
I'm open to the prospect.
But that's just what you said. Like you're either or, sure. But okay. So I'm not a believer. I never adopted the belief in a God. I grew up in a partially Christian Protestant family, but if there's an afterlife, if the Bible is true on the supernatural statements, if it is true, I would like to adopt that belief. And I'm 4 years into Clubhouse, and I would like to hear a coherent.
Well, this might not be the best place for it. I mean, I can't speak for Jay. I can't really speak for Simon. I feel pretty confident that I know Victoria, T, and Benjamin's stance. Aisha's is a little, maybe, less.
What's our stance? Our stance on what?
God.
The God belief.
Pretty
Oh,
sure
yeah, you
speak
know.
for those three.
Yeah.
I can play tic-tac-toe in this room right now and get a win if I go diagonally.
If I may, Victoria.
Sure. Elliot, I know
do you
his.
believe in God?
No. No, I don't.
Okay, same here.
It's a no in the diagonal spaces for sure. Simon is a believer in the magisteria. What do you call it, Simon? You're already what? What's the term you use? A majestic? What is it?
The monarchy.
Monarchy. Yeah, you didn't call it a monarchy. You call it a monarchist. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
So
I am a
apparently that
monarchist.
means you're okay with God, right?
Oh, no. I mean, I've got one grandfather who was a Methodist minister, and another grandfather who was Jewish. I am now all over the place. I'm not a big religion God fan.
I'm going to speak for Sia. I'm going to say Sia is solidly in the no camp. So you get solid. Benjamin is super solid no. He's a solid no. Victoria's a solid no. CM's a solid no. Elliot's pretty solid no. Those are your really, really solid no's.
Yeah, hi, CM. We know it.
Hey, Pro, speaking of nose, we moved off the makeup thing quite fast, but while we were doing that, I found this photo that I put up as my PTR of me doing makeup to do a tiny face. And in fact, that's just my nose.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's pretty funny.
That's actually kind of. Did you actually do it yourself? That's great work. Like the illusion. I mean.
Yeah, it might have been
fantastic, Victoria. I appreciate
a little bit of a
Thank
mind
you
fuck.
for sharing.
So we could do anything you wanted, Pro.
Wow.
But Victoria, that's why I asked. I think it was just drowning in the waters. But I asked a question like, do you have like something that you can give a tip when it comes to exfoliating your skin? Like, if you see my profile picture, I wax my eyebrows. I go to a professional and color them and everything. So I'm already feminine. And people on Clubhouse have been calling me gay for like 4 years. So I'm actually interested because I am like.
Yeah,
that, so
well, I don't. Yeah, you're well groomed. I think that's nice. People take care of themselves however they want to do that. I think that's great. I used to have, like, I fell down the rabbit hole of a ton of different stuff to take care of my face and my skin in general, not just the face, but neck, arms, everything. And generally I just have a gentle wash. I'll use a makeup remover that is oil-based to take off that stuff. But I just use salicylic acid, which isn't an acid, but it's in a lot of different toners and such. And I sometimes will use them in pads that I can get. I don't use the same thing all the time because I don't have super sensitive skin, so I don't have to worry about that. So when I need something, I'll either buy what's on sale, or if somebody's recommended something, great, I'll try something new. If not, I'll go to an old standard. In fact, I have oxy pads that I use on occasion when I don't have something special around. And so after I wash my face, I'll use that salicylic acid on a pad. And then the key, I think, is a good moisturizer at night, a nice lotion or moisturizer in the day. But I don't even use a moisturizer in the morning because I always put on sunscreen, and that has moisturizing in it. So, but sunscreen is probably the biggest thing that I changed about 6-7 years ago, and I wear it every day. It's just part of my skincare, and I think that's really helped change my skin. So really, you need a cleanser, some sort of exfoliant a couple of times a week, and I do dermaplaning as well, which is like kind of shaving my whole face. And so if you shave, you're actually exfoliating every day, right? But to do the other parts of your face that you don't shave, you can either use something that is like one of those dermaplaning knives. I mean, you can get them on Amazon and stuff, and do the rest of your face, or just use some sort of liquid. But you don't have to be really harsh. What I found was a lot of friends who got into skincare during COVID went really hard on some stuff, and a lot of friends went really slow, and they come out with the same, after a year, they come out with the same changes, but one had reactions to things and one didn't. So, I would just make sure that you have a routine. And the people who know me in here know that I am the sunscreen queen. Like, I'll always say that's got to be the number one thing. Wash your face and put on sunscreen.
I think the key word is I need to start a routine. I need to make it something that I do every day, like in the morning or evening, whatever. But yeah, I think that's the key word I will take from what you said.
Well,
And I also
here's what gets you into the routine is if you wash your face in the morning, again, not harsh, just a gentle wash, and you do nothing else but put sunscreen on, that's a good start because sunscreen is the most important thing to put on in the day. And then you want to wash the sunscreen off at night. I mean, I've sometimes gone to bed with sunscreen on because makeup on and don't have a reaction. But just sunscreen off and put a moisturizer on. And if you start just with that, just washing, sunscreen, washing, moisturizer, that's gonna be a good start. And then if you want to add in once or twice a week some sort of exfoliant, I'm sure Aisha has a few things to say on this too. But that's where I would start. Like I said, I love pampering myself, and so sometimes I'll say to my husband, "Do you need the bathroom? Because I'm going to be like half an hour. Because I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the 10-step plan that I used to do because it feels good, it smells good, and the next day I can maybe it's placebo, I don't know, but I feel like my face looks a little plumper and nicer, right? But I also know I'm not going to do that every day, right? So anyway,
Doesn't shaving encourage the facial hair to grow?
no,
not really. No.
it can sometimes feel like that because they all grow back at their they don't grow back with a little point at the end as if you've plucked them. They grow back and they feel thicker because they don't have the point because you've cut it off. But no, I've been dermaplaning. I've been dermaplaning for like 4 years now, and I had some peach fuzz around my jaws and closer to my ears that I couldn't figure out how to wear foundation or.
Could get rid of it because you're a man.
And
could get rid of the peach fuzz because I'm a man.
And so on occasion, I've gone like a month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks without doing it, so the fuzz grows in again. But because my skin is healthier and I don't wear as much makeup anymore because I don't have to hide my skin, it doesn't really bug me. But I now do it more for my skin than the pea fuzz.
One of these people from the Jewish faith.
I have to say, my personal preference, I like people
it's forbidden for them to actually create their own political state. I'm from the similar kind of background or sect that believe it is forbidden for the Shias or even for the Sunnis to actually make a political kind of government and govern ourselves, because if we rule in the name of religion, everything that we do is going to tarnish the name and the reputation of our religion. Because after all, like, we're just human beings. We could make mistakes. We could oppress others in the process of actually getting to power or maintaining power. So if we do that in the name of our faith, all it's going to do, this is going to demolish the very perception of our faith. It's just like if you identify with any kind of brand, for example. So if let's say you
I think it's understandable. I don't think it's understandable. Yeah. So anyway, so are you spread out, dispersed among the people, or are you?
Yes, we are spread out because we believe at the end of times this is God's wisdom that because of all the tyranny that happens in the world, if we all stay in one place, it's easy for the devil or the bad people to just kill us all. So by God's tradition, apparently we have to disperse on the planet, so less of us get killed or destroyed, so that the true message of our faith is preserved.
Thank you.
So, quick question then: can the true Shias right now be some priests and rabbis?
Basically, the concept of priesthood or rabbihood, it's not allowed in Islam. In fact, all the Muslims are encouraged to learn the religion and the jurisprudence and to acquire knowledge, so that knowledge is not centralized, it's decentralized, so that it cannot be taken advantage
advantage of. Whereas the priests in any religion, or even in Islam, unfortunately, they tend to encourage centralization of knowledge or jurisprudence. And in that way, if you centralize anything, you are only creating grounds for corruption, because if you centralize wealth or centralize power, that's going to corrupt the system, which is why in government or in political systems we have the separate, like the different three aspects of main aspects of government are kind of separate and kind of not sovereign but independent, like judiciary, you know what I mean, right? Like the judiciary, the executive branch, and the lawmaking branch, they're all separate parts, because if the power of these three entities are concentrated into one entity, it could easily be corrupted.
Alright, so I'm gonna give you an example. Right? During the time of Jesus, he used the word, because the word begotten can mean it has different meanings, right? And I'll give you an example. There are Muslims and Jews like myself that I'm going to say we are cut from the same cloth. Even though he is a Jew, even though he is a Muslim, even though I am a Catholic, we are cut from the same cloth. So when I say this true message of God, right? Can those people be distributed between all the faiths? So what you find to be the true message of God could also be a certain sect in Christianity and a certain sect in Judaism, and so on and so forth. Do you think that the Shia message is spread out like that, or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so basically we believe in all like Abrahamic faiths, like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. There is one group which truly
my phone's a mess. What's going on? Oh, it's
prophets.
because he tried telling me I got 162 viruses. It gives me every kind of cleaning thing you can think of.
Oh yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah. It won't leave me alone. I can't get on the phone.
It's like you can't use it for more than like 2 seconds. That's on top of that. Let me make you a ticket real quick. What's your first and last name? Give me like 45 minutes. It can be a little time consuming just because of the perfect. He's out of the room right now, but I'll call him back in like 45 minutes.
Anyway,
the 99% are not always going to are not always taking the right path. The 1% normally know what's going on.
Oh my god. Where did you get this?
all pre-orders, man. Just when GameStop was still the biggest thing around, during that time, that's all it was. I would just get off work and pay off my pre-order, pay it off every couple of weeks. I finally get the system, pay it off night at drop night. There I was.
You were there for midnight release.
My boy's gonna be 13, and he wants the new Xbox, and these serve that well, and I'm proud of him, but I'm even more proud of my son, so I'm gonna try and make his birthday the best I can, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Where you would run into the world that there are people following the message of Christ. Some of them are Jews, some of them are people, some of them are atheists.
Stop hitting me so hard right now.
And we don't know. Sort of like Mojave, right? It's sort of like that sort of thing, right?
And I try to go off the eBay sold as well, just to see if there's somebody that made the market go a little higher.
Of course.
I think when I scanned them in, I was at 500. But since these are so clean, I got like just the Halo 3 one.
Yeah.
Even with the ODST controller.
Absolutely.
I've never seen that.
You won't even know.
I'd up it just for collector's value. I'm gonna give you 600 flat today.
I think that's gonna work.
That's gonna work?
That's gonna work.
Let's get you paid.
I appreciate that.
2, 3,
Yes, sir.
20, 40, 60, 80, 20. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you're good, you're good.
4, 20, 40, 60, 80, 5. There's 5.
This is how we can identify that he is the true savior who is coming at the end of time.
So is he born into the world though?
What's up, Noel? Doing all right?
He was born.
Okay.
Born into
One Mosey Infinite Wall, so he's done like in terms of his
Ball's doing all right today?
Yeah, I'm looking for a drink.
Dreamcast. Oh, cool. Okay. So I got a couple. They still got some yellow going on. Not too bad.
I thought this was lineage.
That got you. Sure, AB. Not too bad. Kitover. It's the Model 1 version.
Which gives him
Yeah, Model 1 you can use the currency. I love it. And you get a card with it, the VMU with it, and any free $10 game within the
Oh, so
search.
the lineage is even
It's like higher ends in the case here. It's like time stoppers, relics, vomits, and stuff like that. This aisle, straight down, like you're going to the DVDs, and then at the end of it, will be all like the Sega Dreamcast, Saturn, all that. Alright, got your names?
Yeah. I think they still have some sort of credit if I can use some of that.
Cash and his sons were called tribes of Israel. Jacob was also known as Israel, basically, and Muhammad was from the lineage of Ishmael, who was in Saudi Arabia by God commanded Abraham to take his wife Hagar and Ishmael to that land and to leave them there. And Muhammad is from the lineage of Ishmael.
Muhammad is from Ishmael.
And it's interesting because Mahdi is from the lineage of Prophet Muhammad, but his mother was a Christian princess, interestingly. So his father married a Christian princess who converted into the religion of Prophet Muhammad, and his father married her, and Mahdi was born when he was 5 years, and his birth was very much similar to the birth of Moses, because Moses was prophesied as the prophet who will overthrow the throne of Pharaoh, who was a tyrant. And Mahdi was also prophesied to be the person who would overthrow the throne of the tyrants of the time. So he was very much anticipated by the rulers of his time, and they were waiting for him to be born so they can kill him. When his mother was pregnant, no one can see by miracle. No one can see the signs of pregnancy in his mother. So he was born in secret.
Yeah, much like Jesus, right?
Yeah, much like Jesus.
Much like Jesus. Now, can you tell my friends, the Christian princess, who gave birth to the Mahdi, who was from Rome? What's her name, Ami?
Her name was Nargis, or Narcissus, or Nargis.
Israel,
Exactly
and
your
it
name.
could weaken weaken the country itself, at least in their opinion. And so, I mean, there's
Nargis is to Mahdi. Virgin Mary is Jesus.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Who? What up?
Thank you. Interestingly,
What up, bro?
Doing a lot of reading here on the side while you guys are talking. So turns out, lawmakers, according to studies, and we've discussed this before, dedicate 30 hours a week on the average to dialing for dollars. There's a study by Ohio State University, you can look it up, which says that members of Congress are unaware of what they're voting for because of the volume of bills that are presented, the length of the bills, and the fact that they're dialing for dollars. I added that part. It's not part of the Ohio State study. So they rely on their party leadership to tell them how to vote.
Primarily they're staffers, but party leadership comes in the most contentious issues.
If you have a bad staffer, then you're not going to be prepared. If you have good staffing, then you'll be prepared for whatever hearing or bill you walk into. So yes, party leadership is important, but the quality of your staff is, I think, even more important than what leadership actually says, because it's the foundation by which you then go vote for things, right? I will agree there's a lot of bills and leadership does how to vote sometimes. In particular on our most contentious issues, I think. But again, I think staffing is, that's where you build the base before the leadership tells you what to do. So I think they're both important, but I think staffing is probably above leadership a little bit because of what the staff is.
Marshall is better than everybody else. You hear this shit?
And the second thing to consider is a study, I think goes back to 2015. You can find it very easily by typing in the author's names. Martin Gilens, Gilens, at Princeton, and his co-researcher was William Page from Northwestern. So just type in Gilens and Page, and you will find stories about, and maybe the actual study pop up in your browser. The conclusion of the study is, are you ready for this? And this goes against everything Marshall and I have been preaching here for so long. Ready for this one, Marshall?
I'm ready to be wrong.
No, I mean, this goes against what you and I have been telling people to do all along. Congress literally doesn't care what you think. How about that? Now, I haven't delved into the details of the study, but that's what the study says. And I will read it on the train on the way into work as soon as we part company here. That Congress doesn't even care what you think. So who's influencing Congress? And I would agree that it's not just the party leadership. I would have to agree with Scott that a lot of it has to do with lobbyists. And as I started to say back when Scott interjected the question of lobbyists,